Good morning. QPR, a great victory last week. How do you look back on that?
Move on. It's the same messages from us, regularly. Delighted with the win. As the season pans out, our home form is very strong, which is fantastic. Our away form obviously not the same. 32 points. We'd like a few more. If we had a few more, we'd probably be a little bit more relaxed in relation to where we are on the table. But that's where we're at. We go to Rotherham tomorrow now in a great game.
Good to see the influence of the new players in that game, though.
Listen, the window's being discussed now. Obviously from the departures where everyone was disappointed, I felt it was a very positive window. I also feel a positivity around the players coming back from injury now. Nick Powell's training full out this morning. Robinson and Massey back in the squad. All of a sudden, it just looks a different squad of players, which it is. The numbers have changed dramatically in a week. And that's great credit to everyone, the recruitment guys, the chairman, the board for bringing players in, and the medical lads for getting lads back to fit.
Josh Windass's goal, he scored a similar one from a knockdown against West Brom. Do you possibly see that as where he's being most effective and how you can use a target man in Clark to maybe use him in the future?
It's just a football debate. It's a number 10 position, which Josh plays, Nick Powell's played it here. Cal McManaman's probably best position. The job of a number 10 on a pitch can be debated by everyone. For me, it's to be involved in forward play, to create chances and score goals. If you're going to play as a deep lying number 10, the reality is you won't do the other two things. I think Josh is now being seen in a light where people can see his qualities. He breaks lines really well. He scored some good goals breaking from midfield forward, and he can finish. He's had plenty of other chances. You go back in games where he could be easily sitting on a number of goals now that everyone will be taking note. I think them goals are coming.
Obviously a fans forum this week, it's emerged also that Reece James had plenty of opportunity to potentially move away in the window. Your delight that you showed to keep him, because he's been fantastic this season.
I'm not speaking about it anymore. I say the same things. I can't, apart from adopting him, I physically can't do anything more.
Is that on the cards?
Unfortunately, no. With the football career he's out, I'm sure his parents wouldn't let me get involved in that. I think it's all been said about Reece, and the information you've just supplied there just sums up exactly what type of lad he is. I think in a modern day game, 95% of young players would have jumped ship to go to Club A, B or C. For Reece, it was a case of being involved in something. He's obviously enjoying it, enjoying how we work and wants to see it out, and I'm sure come the time, I'm sure the Wigan fans will give him a reception that he totally deserves when he goes back to his parent club and progresses with the fantastic career that he's going to have.
And also, out the fans forum, a couple of points for those people that weren't there. You obviously mentioned McManaman and the questions that you get about why you can't fit him into the squad, and etc.
I think for fans forums, I think the good thing about it is for supporters to get off the chest what they really feel. I think the modern day games managers can sometimes make themselves a little bit aloof, if you like, or untouchable. For me as a manager, I've always liked to think I could engage with fans in a decent debate and try and tell them what we're trying to do, listen to their point of views, and then obviously move on and support the club. That for me is what football's about. So debating individual players, I'm not going to get involved in, apart from fans forums. So you're unlucky today, and we'll get on to the away form.
I was going to come back to that later.
There's more questions.
Again, Nick Powell's that's still ongoing. Are you confident that you might be able to resolve something in the future? Again,
with the situations, I'm not going to go over what went on in the fans forum. I don't think that's correct. I think they're all valid questions, what you're asking. I think we've answered them as openly as we can at the fans forums. I think these press conferences should be about the game tomorrow and the team tomorrow. So while we're all hoping Nick stays for a long time at the club, only time will tell.
Okay, well, all right, I'll take the hint.
Well done.
Rotherham, then. An opportunity for back-to-back wins. I suppose in the most pessimistic view, it would be a worst case no-lose, because it gives you opportunity not to lose that kind of gap between that and the bottom five.
I think first and foremost, to go to Rotherham and to win a game of football, you are going to have to defend, you are going to have to play well, and you are going to have to earn the right. In my opinion, they're having an outstanding season. At the start of the season when everybody lays the cards on the table, unfortunately for Rotherham, they're dealt the worst hand, and that can be football. Does that affect Paul and his players? Not a chance. Not a chance in terms of work ethic, commitment and quality at times. They give everything they've got for the club, and when you're a manager and your team do that, you'll never lie down, you'll never get rolled over, and you will fight to the bitter end for your club. And that's what Rotherham do every week. Leeds scored last minute, Sheffield United, Rotherham equalised. Rotherham's home form is very strong. They scored a lot of goals in the second half of the game, which means their lads will never lie down. And we've got our hands full tomorrow. Do you know, as a club, I can't pay Rotherham any more respect than we're going to do. Do you know, for me, they are a club that continually, not overachieve, that's a little bit of a wrong statement, but they probably do better than what they're supposed to, and that's great credit to Paul.
When you do come up against a team who are below you in the table, does it give you kind of a target? You know, you mentioned the away form. Is it an opportunity?
I think again, you know, when the away form's debated like it is, I think if you were to get to a tally of points this year, for example, that everyone would look back on the season and go, it was a successful season. For me as a manager, it doesn't matter where you get the points. Obviously, we want to win more games away from home. We have travelling supporters. They pay a lot of money, but that's part and parcel of football today. Do you know, football fans support your team, and I'm big into that. I think sometimes people forget when the team needs the most support. It's when you're not doing well. It's not when you're going well. And Wigan fans to date have never let anyone down. The numbers at Notts Forest when it come out before the game were amazing. Were absolutely amazing. And I'm sure the numbers are going to be the same tomorrow. I think they all know how hard we're working to get that result that they want.
What do you think you need to get on that role to start more consistently winning?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
I mean, you know, it's been a bit stop-start over the last few weeks.
I think we're quite consistent. We're inconsistent.
But in terms of results, though,
I think you just keep going. I think if you look at any team now, if you look at Leeds United, who everyone thinks the best team in the league, I think they've won 1 in 7. If it can happen to Leeds United, it can happen to anyone. They are, in my opinion, the best team in the league. They're going through a little funny patch now. What would they do different? I think they just keep focused, keep going and keep doing what you do. For us, we're very focused on what we're trying to achieve. I think, as it's been said, and you can be repetitive in your things, staying up for us, putting a mark in the sand and trying to move forward. I think that's what everyone's focused on at our club.
Who are Rotherham's key men?
And again, I think they've got too many good players. I think they defend really well. I think they're very committed, they're wholehearted in what they do. They've got no shortage of good players, in my opinion. They're a threat going forward. Michael Smith's playing as well as probably he's ever done in his career. And Paul gets everything last breath out of his players. And as a manager, you can't do no more than that. So tomorrow we travel over there knowing a win would put us in a very strong position. And that's something that we're all focused on trying to achieve.
Jedi and Messi, they likely to play?
I wouldn't have thought that we're going to be playing players already. But they've both trained for a full week now. They've both had minutes on the pitch in a behind closed doors game. And they're both in the squad to travel.